What's up guys, Dave here, and we have a One Piece deck profile. I'm really into this game right now. I've got a lot of decks built, but last weekend I played an event at Castle McCulloch in Greensboro, and ended up getting first place, went 4-0 undefeated with Green Kid. It was actually my first time playing this deck in a tournament, and like, I only played it because I saw the list and I was like, this looks like really fun and really consistent, and turns out it is really fun and really consistent. If you are just getting into the game, this is a really, really good deck to like learn the mechanics of the game with. So yeah, let's get straight into the deck profile. Of course, we've got the Kid Leader. Let me get this out of the way. His ability is really, really good, especially in the late game. You can pay 3 after you attack to stand him back up. So like a lot of games, if they get down to 1 life left, it's kind of like them having 0, because you can just like put 7 Dawn on him, make him 12, and then swing for 12 twice, which is, against most decks, is like game. The way I thought about this deck when I was building it was like, it's 2 different halves, sort of, or 2 different parts. The first part of it is your Supernova half, and the second part is the Wano half. This deck goes really heavy into the Supernova half, but like the Wano card, this deck isn't good without the Wano card, so you kind of have to play those. Anyway, we'll talk about the Supernovas first. We've got your 4 Bonnie. Oh, and then I guess spoilers. For beige, Bonnie gets you to like all the strong cards, like the broken cards in your deck. Like the Wano cards are all broken, but like the Supernova cards are usually what win you the game. So these are necessary. One drop blocker. These are always going to be played like pretty indefinitely, I think. So yeah, these 8 spots are probably gonna be pretty staple. Next we have our 2K counter. He was exclusively a 2K counter all day. Me and my buddy have been talking about this, like the way the game is shifting. 2K counters are becoming like, yes, they're good, they are very, very good, but like if it's a 2K counter that doesn't do anything, then oftentimes it's really not worth playing. So we may cut these out of the deck just in favor of some of your like larger drops, so like making 2 of these another 7 drop or another 8 drop kid, or like just other cards that do things, because like apart from being 2K counter, this card doesn't really do anything. The new blocker killer from OP1, he's insane. Just being a 2-drop blocker, like in most scenarios, right, with most decks in the game, if it has blocker on it, and if it has blocker and counter on it, you should probably be playing it at 4, if not at least 2, because blockers mean a lot in this game. Like if you're not playing the red deck, then like, and you stick a blocker, then the chances you're dying are a lot lower, unless you're playing against a red deck that's still playing the 5-drop Luffy. So yeah, 4 of the blocker killer, and then 2 of the pop killer. This is just really good against aggro matchups and against like blue if they're bad. So yeah, the 3-drop killer is really good, and like he's 3K, so if you're in a pinch and you need to get your math right, you can put 2 Dawn on him and swing. It doesn't happen often, and he also takes care of like other searchers, so if you're playing the mirror match, you can pop over Bonnies and Momos and stuff like that. But other than that, he's just a pop. I wouldn't play any more than 2 of it, honestly, unless you're really, really wanting to go deep into triggers. The event for the Supernova part of your deck, Punk Gibson, this card is insane. I kind of want to bump it up to 4, but like it didn't come up enough for me to warrant playing the 4th copy. The trigger ability is broken. The fact that it just says rest 1, there's no like restriction, so like if your opponent attacks in order, if your opponent's good, this trigger is ridiculous, because like most of the time you want to attack with your low attackers first, which leaves up your high attackers to finish the game. But if you flip this off your trigger, then you just get to like tap down their like 7K or their 9K, and then all of a sudden they can't swing for game, which is like incredible, and it gives you another turn to set up, which this deck is all about. One of your bigger Supernova drops, X-Drake. This card is actually dumb. I feel like there's a world where I play 4 of this card. When I was talking about taking the 2Ks out of the deck, I feel like this would be a card that I would bump up to 4. Just being able to pop something. But removal in this game is like everything right now, right? Like if your deck can remove something and maintain tempo, then it's a good deck. And this deck can like do a really good job maintaining tempo. So this card is absolutely insane. I would probably play 4 of it in the future. This is probably the best 5-drop in the game. Yeah, this law is dumb. Like, it's a blocker, it's 6k. It lets you pick up cards that you want to keep alive. So like, you can use your Momo or your Bonnie or your Searchers, and then pick them back up with this guy, and then play like a 3-drop Okiku, or like tap something down. This card is broken. This card is absolutely nuts. And if you're not playing 4 of it in a green deck, then you have to reevaluate your decisions. Here are your boss monsters. Right now I'm only playing 2 and 2. If you got another alt art, please let me know, because I want it. 2 of the 7-drop kid, 2 of the 8-drop kid. The structure deck kid is insane because you swing with it. It's a swing for 8k that stands itself back up. And like, you'll see in the Wano half of the deck that like, this card, if you stick, most of the time, right? If you stick the 8-drop and the 7-drop, and you have like any cards in hand or another blocker, then the game is pretty much over. Because this card is really, really hard to deal with, and this card is also really hard to deal with. So if you put 2 incredibly big threats on the board, it's just a lot. They have to use a lot to get rid of these. And the more resources your opponent has to use to get rid of this stuff, the more you can get in with either your leader or the other creatures that you've got on the board. So I think 2 and 2 was fine. There were times when I wanted to see more, which is why me and my friend were talking about making one of the, like, of the 4 2Ks, making one of them another one of this, another one of this, another X-Drake, and then like literally anything else. Because like, these are cards you just want to see. Like, even if you're holding them for a majority of the game, if you can stick this on the turn when you have 9 Dawn, and then like rest it, protect it with another blocker, and they don't get rid of it, then you are in the game. Like, there's a very high chance you're winning the game if this guy sticks. So yeah, these cards are absolutely insane, and probably the reason you play this deck. That's the Supernova part of the deck. Wow, that was a lot longer than I thought. I'm going to go through the Wano part quick, because all these guys do like essentially the same thing. But yeah, this is your like removal part of the deck. I went with 3 Searcher. A lot of lists are playing 2. I just think 3 is correct, because I do want to see this card very often, to cycle through. But like, it's you win the game with your Supernova cards, which is why you play 4 of the Supernova Searcher and only 3 of this one. But this card is still like absolutely insane. The rest of the Wano cards you pretty much play 4 ofs. 4 of the cat to tap down the weenie blockers. 4 of Izo. She's probably the best 3-drop in your deck, because she's a 2k counter and she does something really, really strong. So have to play 4 each of those. Okiku is definitely the second best 3-drop in your deck, because she's another one of those, like, you play her and you have to keep her alive, but if she stays alive, there's a very high chance you win the game, because being 6k attack, so like getting in it, your opponent's leader, and then being able to tap down any blockers or like any problematic cards. So like, a lot of times you'll attack the leader or attack a rested character and tap down either a blocker or something else that's problematic, and then you take care of the blocker on your own terms, while also taking care of your opponent's thing or taking out a life. So like, either way, whatever direction you swing with this card, it's good. If it connects, great. If not, then fine, they have to take care of this, or they're probably going to lose on the clapback. And then the last card in the deck, the reason I wanted to play this deck, really, Paradise Waterfall. This card is absolutely dumb. So like, if you have, I'm going to give you a scenario of I'm going to give you a thing that happened like many, many times. So I have 7-drop, 8-drop kid. I've got 1 Dawn on him because I swung with him and he's standing back up. I've got a Dawn on him, he's rested, and I've got Paradise Waterfall in my hand with a Dawn up. This is so hard to crack. This is ridiculous. Like, even like, I'm not going to do the math like on camera, but like, if they have to have so much, because you declare your block, and then if it's bigger than 7k, you just Paradise Waterfall, stand this back up, and then they have to deal with it again. So like, if they get up to 9, you just if they go to 8 to try and tie it to kill it, you just block, Paradise Waterfall, stand it back up, and then you can block it again. If they get up to like 10 or 11, then you use other cards in your hand, this and this. It's just dumb. This card is absolutely dumb, and you have to play it. I kind of want to play it at 4, but 4 feels like a little too much. Because like, you don't stand up any of your other blockers. You sometimes stand the law back up, or you sometimes stand up one of your guys to protect it. But yeah, I think 3 was absolutely perfect for this. So yeah, if you're looking to get into the game, this deck isn't that expensive. The laws are like $15 a piece right now or something like that. But this deck is absolutely insane. Highly recommend playing it. You learn a lot of game mechanics, you learn a lot of like sequencing, and you learn a lot of really good things with this deck. So yeah, give this deck a shot. The One Piece card game is awesome. We get OPO2 in February. I cannot wait. And yeah, have a great day, guys.